The arrival. The sky above New York City erupted in a dazzling display of light and color, unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. It was July 15, 2047, a date that would forever be etched in the annals of human history. As millions of eyes turned skyward, a massive ship emerged from the swirling vortex of energy, its metallic surface gleaming in the afternoon sun. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the U.S. Defiant, Earth's most advanced space vessel, as it maintained a defensive position high above the planet. Her fingers tightened around the command console, knuckles white with tension. "Status report," she barked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "The alien vessel has come to a complete stop, Admiral," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his eyes never leaving the holographic display. "It's roughly 5 times the size of our largest ships. No signs of aggressive behavior, yet." Chen nodded, her mind racing through countless scenarios. Humanity had long speculated about first contact, but nothing could have prepared them for this moment. The sheer scale of the alien ship dwarfed anything they had imagined. "Open a channel," Chen ordered. "Let's see if they're here to talk." Before Rodriguez could comply, a beam of light shot down from the alien vessel, striking the ground in Central Park. Gasps of awe and fear echoed across the city as a holographic image materialized, towering over the New York skyline. The being that appeared was humanoid, but unmistakably alien. Its skin was a deep shade of indigo, with bioluminescent patterns pulsing across its surface. 4 arms extended from its torso, and its head was adorned with elaborate, crown-like protrusions. "People of Earth," the alien's voice boomed, somehow understood by all who heard it. "I am High Commander Zarkon of the Zarkonian Empire. We have come to assess your world's readiness to join the galactic community." A hush fell over the city, the weight of the moment pressing down on every soul. Chen's comm unit crackled to life, the voice of the United Earth President filling her ear. "Admiral, you're our eyes and ears up there. What's your read on the situation?" Chen took a deep breath, studying the alien's body language and tone. "They're not overtly hostile, Mr. President, but there's an arrogance to them. I don't think they see us as equals." The holographic Zarkon continued, unaware of the private exchange. "For millennia, we have watched your species crawl from the primordial muck, stumble through countless wars, and finally take your first tentative steps beyond your cradle. It is time for you to be evaluated." A murmur of unease rippled through the crowds gathered in the streets below. Chen felt a chill run down her spine. "Evaluated for what?" she muttered. As if in answer to her unspoken question, Zarkon's image shifted, revealing a galactic map dotted with countless stars and planets. "The universe is vast. Those who fail..." The alien paused, his multifaceted eyes gleaming. "Well, let us hope it does not come to that." Chen's tactical mind raced. The implications were clear. This was not a friendly visit, but a test with potentially catastrophic consequences. "We will begin our evaluation immediately," Zarkon declared. "You have 1 Earth rotation to present your case for existence. Choose your representatives wisely, for they will speak for your entire species." With that, the hologram vanished, leaving behind a stunned and terrified populace. "Admiral Chen," the president's voice crackled over the comm once more. "I'm calling an emergency meeting of the United Earth Council. I want you there." "Understood, sir," Chen replied, already moving towards the ship's teleportation chamber. "I'm on my way." As she prepared to beam down, Chen cast one last glance at the alien vessel looming over her home planet. Its presence was a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability, but also a challenge to rise above their limitations. In the heart of Geneva, the United Earth Council convened in a state of barely controlled panic. Leaders from every nation huddled together, their usual rivalries set aside in the face of this unprecedented threat. Chen strode into the chamber, her crisp uniform, a stark contrast to the disheveled appearance of many world leaders. All eyes turned to her as she took her place at the central podium. "Ladies and gentlemen," She began, her voice cutting through the nervous chatter. We face a challenge unlike any in human history. The Zarkonians claim to be here to evaluate us. But make no mistake, this is a test of our very right to exist. Murmurs of agreement and fear rippled through the assembly. But we are not without hope. Chen continued, her eyes blazing with determination. In the face of this threat, we must unite as never before. Our diversity, our creativity, our indomitable spirit. These are our greatest strengths. We must show the Zarkonians that humanity is not just worthy of survival, but of thriving among the stars. As Chen spoke, a plan began to form in her mind. It was audacious, perhaps even foolhardy, but it might be their only chance. We have 24 hours, she declared. 24 hours to prove that when pushed to the brink, humanity doesn't cower or flee. We stand and fight, not with weapons, but with the very essence of what makes us human. The council chamber erupted in a mix of cheers and anxious discussion. As the noise died down, the United Earth President stepped forward, his face grave but resolute. Admiral Chen, he said, his voice carrying the weight of billions of lives. You've faced impossible odds before and come out on top. We're putting our faith in you. What do you propose? Chen took a deep breath, the outline of her plan crystallizing in her mind. It was risky, unconventional, and might just be crazy enough to work. Mr. President, esteemed leaders, she began, her voice steady and confident. We're going to give the Zarkonians exactly what they asked for, a presentation, but not just any presentation. We're going to show them the entirety of human history, culture, and achievement in a way they've never seen before. She paused, letting her words sink in before continuing. We'll use every scrap of technology at our disposal, holographics, virtual reality, even the global communications network. For 24 hours, we'll turn Earth itself into a canvas, painting a picture of humanity that's impossible to ignore. The room fell silent as the magnitude of Chen's proposal sank in. It was ambitious, perhaps even impossible, but in the face of extinction, what choice did they have? We'll need every resource, every mind working in perfect harmony, Chen pressed on. Artists, scientists, historians, technicians. Everyone has a role to play. We're not just fighting for our survival, we're fighting for our right to show the galaxy who we truly are. As the council burst into action, Chen allowed herself a small, grim smile. The next 24 hours would determine the fate of humanity. But if there was one thing she knew about her species, it was this. When backed into a corner, humans didn't run. The ultimatum. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, humanity stood united in a way it never had before. Admiral Sarah Chen's audacious plan had set in motion a global effort unlike anything in history. Every corner of the planet buzzed with activity, a symphony of human ingenuity and determination. In the sprawling savanna of Kenya, a team of zoologists and conservationists worked tirelessly to create a living hologram of Earth's biodiversity. Herds of wildebeest stampeded alongside extinct species brought back to life through advanced projection technology. The message was clear. Humanity was not just fighting for itself, but for the intricate web of life it had sworn to protect. Meanwhile, in the depths of the Mariana Trench, submarines equipped with quantum communication arrays broadcast the secrets of the deep. Bioluminescent creatures danced in the darkness, their ethereal light a testament to life's ability to thrive in the most extreme conditions. It was a reminder that humanity's quest for knowledge knew no bounds, not even the crushing pressures of the ocean floor. As Chen coordinated efforts from the United Earth Council's command center in Geneva, reports flooded in from around the globe. In Rio de Janeiro, samba dancers twirled through the air, their movements captured by motion sensors and projected as constellations in the sky. In Beijing, ancient terracotta warriors stood shoulder to shoulder with holograms of astronauts, bridging millennia of human achievement. But it wasn't just a showcase of past glories. In laboratories and workshops around the world, scientists and engineers raced against time to demonstrate humanity's potential. In a hidden facility beneath the Antarctic ice, a team led by Dr. Yuki Tanaka achieved a breakthrough in fusion technology, harnessing the power of the stars themselves. The energy spike was immediately detected by the Zirconian ship, a clear signal that humanity was on the brink of a new technological era. As the hours ticked by, Chen couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something crucial. The presentations were impressive, yes, but would they be enough to sway a species that had likely seen countless civilizations rise and fall? Her thoughts were interrupted by an urgent message from the linguistic team tasked with deciphering the Zirconian language. "Admiral," the lead linguist reported, her eyes wide with excitement. "We've made a discovery. The Zirconians' language. It's not just about communication. It's a complex system of thought, almost mathematical in nature. We think we can use it to our advantage." Chen leaned forward, intrigued. "Explain." "Their language shapes their perception of reality," the linguist continued. "If we can integrate our presentation into their linguistic framework, we might be able to make them see us in a whole new light." It was a risky gambit, but Chen knew they had to take every chance they could get. "Do it," she ordered. "Recalibrate the global broadcast. Let's speak to the Zirconians in a language they can't ignore." As the Earth entered its final hours of preparation, a tense silence fell over the planet. In every city, every village, every home, humans gathered around screens and holographic displays, waiting for the moment of truth. At exactly 800 hours Geneva time, High Commander Zarkon's image once again materialized above the planet. But this time, humanity was ready. Before the alien could speak, the sky erupted in a dazzling display of light and sound. Earth's atmosphere became a canvas, painting the story of human evolution, from the first primitive cells to the complex societies of the present day. But it wasn't just a visual spectacle. Each image, each transition was carefully coded in the mathematical language of the Zirconians, forcing them to process the information in a way they had never experienced before. Zarkon's expression shifted from surprise to confusion to something that might have been awe. "Impossible," he murmured, the word echoing across the planet. Chen stepped forward, her holographic image joining Zarkon's in the sky. "Not impossible," she declared, her words resonating in both human language and Zirconian mathematical concepts. "This is who we are. This is what we're capable of. We may be young, we may have made mistakes, but we are a species of infinite potential." For a moment, it seemed as if the gambit had worked. Zarkon's eyes widened, a flicker of understanding passing across his alien features. But then, as quickly as it had appeared, the moment passed. "Impressive," Zarkon said, his voice cold and calculating once more. "But ultimately, insignificant. Your species has shown creativity, yes, but also a propensity for violence and self-destruction. The galaxy has no place for such unpredictable elements." Chen felt her heart sink, but she refused to show weakness. "What are you saying?" she demanded. Zarkon's eyes gleamed with a mixture of pity and disdain. "Your evaluation is complete. The Zirconian Empire has deemed Earth unworthy. You have 6 of your months to evacuate this planet. After that time, it will be repurposed." The words hit Chen like a physical blow. 6 months. 6 months to abandon the only home humanity had ever known. 6 months before everything they had built, everything they had fought for, would be erased. As panic began to spread across the globe, Chen's mind raced. This couldn't be the end. There had to be another way. And in that moment of desperation, a plan began to form. A plan so audacious, so potentially catastrophic, that it might just save them all. She looked up at Zarkon's towering image, her eyes blazing with defiance. "We will not run," she declared, her voice carrying to every corner of the Earth. "We will not abandon our home. You've seen what we can do in 24 hours. Give us 6 months, and we'll show you what humanity is truly capable of." As Zarkon's image faded, Leaving behind a world in turmoil, Chen turned to face the United Earth Council. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice steady despite the weight of billions of lives on her shoulders, "we have work to do." The preparation. The next 6 months saw humanity unite in a way that would have been unthinkable just a year ago. With the threat of extinction looming over them, old rivalries were set aside, and the full might of human ingenuity was brought to bear on a single monumental task: survival. Admiral Sarah Chen, now the de facto leader of Earth's defense, stood at the heart of this whirlwind of activity. The plan she had conceived in that moment of desperation was audacious, perhaps even insane, but it was the only chance they had. Project Exodus, as it came to be known, was not about running away, as the Zarkonians might have expected. Instead, it was about turning the entire planet into a weapon, a fortress, and a testament to human determination. In the Gobi Desert, massive archaeology projects sprung up almost overnight, designed to house millions and withstand the harshest conditions. These weren't just shelters, they were seedbeds of innovation, where scientists and engineers worked around the clock to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a network of underwater cities was constructed, leveraging the latest in pressure-resistant materials and geothermal energy. These aquatic havens served a dual purpose, providing a refuge for a significant portion of the population and acting as launching points for a fleet of advanced submarines capable of striking from unexpected vectors. But the most ambitious part of Project Exodus was happening in orbit. Using the breakthrough in fusion technology achieved during their initial presentation to the Zarkonians, humanity began the construction of a massive space station. This wasn't just any orbital habitat. It was designed to be the nucleus of a future fleet, a mobile fortress that could, if necessary, guide humanity to a new home among the stars. As the months wore on, Chen found herself constantly moving, from the underwater cities of the Atlantic to the orbital shipyards above the planet. Every step of the way, she was amazed by the resilience and creativity of her species. In a repurposed automotive factory in Detroit, a team led by Dr. Kwame Osei had developed a new form of adaptive armor, capable of reacting to different types of energy weapons. "It's based on principles we observed in the Zarkonian ship's hull," Osei explained, his eyes alight with excitement. "We may be behind in some areas, but in others, we're learning at an unprecedented rate." Meanwhile, in a hidden facility deep beneath the Swiss Alps, linguist Dr. Sofia Valdez and her team had made further breakthroughs in understanding the Zarkonian language. "It's not just a means of communication," she reported to Chen. "It's a way of restructuring reality itself. If we can master it, we might be able to affect the very laws of physics in our favor." But for every success, there were setbacks. Resources were stretched thin, and not every nation was fully on board with the unified effort. Chen found herself not just coordinating the technical aspects of Project Exodus, but also navigating a complex web of political and social challenges. As the 6-month deadline approached, tension across the globe reached a fever pitch. The Zarkonian ship remained in orbit, a constant reminder of the sword hanging over their heads. But humanity had not been idle. In a secure bunker beneath Geneva, Chen met with the United Earth Council for a final briefing. The room was filled with holographic displays showing the progress of Project Exodus, each one a testament to what humanity had accomplished in such a short time. "Ladies and gentlemen," Chen began, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "In less than 24 hours, the Zarkonians will return, expecting to find a defeated, cowering species ready to be led to slaughter. Instead, they're going to find something very different." She gestured to a holographic display of the Earth, now surrounded by a complex network of satellites, space stations, and defense platforms. "We've turned our entire planet into a fortress. Every city is a bastion, every ocean a hidden arsenal. We are ready to fight for our home." A murmur of approval ran through the assembled leaders, but Chen raised a hand for silence. "But defense alone is not enough. We need to show the Zarkonians, and the rest of the galaxy. That humanity is not to be trifled with. That's where Operation Starburst comes in. With a wave of her hand, Chen brought up a new hologram, showing a complex series of maneuvers centered around the massive space station they had constructed. When the Zarkonians arrive, we're going to give them a show they'll never forget. A demonstration of force, yes, but also of our mastery over their own language of reality. As Chen laid out the details of the plan, a mix of awe and apprehension filled the room. It was dangerous, potentially catastrophic if it went wrong, but it was also their best chance at survival. There are no guarantees, Chen concluded, her eyes meeting those of each leader in turn. But I believe in humanity. I believe in our strength, our resilience, and our unwavering spirit. When the Zarkonians thought we'd run, we chose to fight. And tomorrow, we're going to show them exactly what that means. As the meeting adjourned, Chen stepped out onto a balcony overlooking the city of Geneva. The streets were quiet, tense with anticipation of what the next day would bring. But there was also a palpable sense of hope, of determination. Chen looked up at the night sky, where the first stars were beginning to appear. Somewhere up there, the Zarkonians were preparing to return, confident in their superiority. They had no idea what was waiting for them. The counterattack. The day of reckoning dawned bright and clear, a stark contrast to the tension that gripped the planet. In every city, every home, every hastily constructed bunker, humanity held its collective breath, waiting for the moment that would decide their fate. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the CSS Defiant, Earth's most advanced warship, now upgraded with technology that would have been considered science fiction just 6 months ago. The massive vessel hung in low Earth orbit, the centerpiece of humanity's hastily assembled defense fleet. Status report, Chen barked, her eyes never leaving the holographic display that showed the positions of every ship and station in Earth's vicinity. All systems nominal, Admiral, her XO, Commander Ravi Sharma, reported. The Starburst array is powered up and ready. Ground-based defenses are on high alert. The Atlantis network is standing by. Chen nodded, a grim smile playing across her lips. Everything they had worked for, every sleepless night, every impossible breakthrough, had led to this moment. At exactly 800 hours, Geneva time, right on schedule, a massive tear in space-time opened up near the moon. The Zarkonian ship emerged, its sleek hull gleaming in the sunlight. But this time, it wasn't alone. A fleet of smaller vessels followed in its wake, a show of force meant to intimidate. They had no idea what was waiting for them. Before the Zarkonians could broadcast their message, Chen gave the order: initiate Operation Starburst. Across the Earth, and in orbit, hundreds of emitters came to life simultaneously. But they weren't firing weapons, at least not in the conventional sense. Instead, they began broadcasting a complex series of signals, each one carefully calibrated to interface with the Zarkonian language of reality. The effect was immediate and spectacular. The space around Earth seemed to ripple and twist, like reality itself was being rewritten. The Zarkonian ships faltered, their systems struggling to make sense of what they were seeing. In the confusion, the CSS Defiant and its sister ships made their move. They accelerated with impossible speed, their new fusion drives pushing the limits of what was thought possible. But they weren't attacking. Not yet. Instead, they began a complex dance around the Zarkonian fleet, weaving in and out of the distorted space. On the bridge of the Zarkonian flagship, High Commander Zarkon watched in disbelief as his superior force was outmaneuvered by ships that shouldn't even exist. Impossible, he muttered, echoing his words from 6 months ago. But this time, there was fear in his voice. Ken's voice crackled over the comm system, broadcasting to both the human fleet and the Zarkonian ships. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of Earth. 6 months ago, you gave us an ultimatum. You thought we would run, that we would abandon our home. Instead, we chose to fight, not with weapons, but with the very fabric of reality itself. As if to punctuate her words, The starburst array pulsed again, sending waves of distortion through space. The Zarkonian ships shuddered, their advanced technology rendered useless by principles they thought they alone understood. "We have mastered your language," Chen continued, her words resonating with both human determination and Zarkonian concepts of reality manipulation. "We have turned our entire planet into a fortress, our oceans into arsenals, our very civilization into a weapon. We did not do this out of aggression, but out of necessity, out of love for our home and our right to exist." On Earth, millions watched in awe as the sky above them turned into a kaleidoscope of impossible colors and shapes. It was beautiful and terrifying, a demonstration of power beyond anything humanity had ever wielded. In orbit, the human fleet continued its intricate maneuvers, herding the Zarkonian ships into a predefined zone. At Chen's command, the Atlantis network activated. From the depths of the oceans, massive tentacles of energy reached up, enveloping the alien fleet in a cage of pure energy. "We do not seek war," Chen declared, her voice steady and resolute. "But we will not be exterminated. We will not be repurposed. We are humanity, and we have earned our place among the stars." For a long moment, silence reigned. The Zarkonian fleet hung motionless, trapped between the starburst array's reality distortions and the Atlantis network's energy cage. On every ship, on every continent, people held their breath, waiting to see how the aliens would respond.